managing and securing your endpoint ecosystem in the manufacturing environment. That is the topic of this latest To The Point episode. Hello, I'm Maggie Miller here with Tom Molden. He is the manufacturing CIO at Tanium. So welcome, Tom.
Thank you, Maggie. It's nice to be here.
Excited to hear your insights on this topic. So first off, what are the challenges that manufacturers are facing in the market today?
In addition to the plethora of challenges that all companies are facing from the ever-expanding amount of endpoints in their ecosystems, in manufacturing, there are some special cases that are, I think, create a broader landscape. For one, the convergence of IT and OT. A lot of people are talking about that now. You know, recent ransomware attacks in the news have made that front of mind for a lot of people. You know, and the fact is that manufacturing and IT environments have been running quite separately for years. And this is these are two worlds that are converging. And if you think about the amount of human interface in a plant environment that exists to all of the controllers that are in there, it's all running on IT systems. And so there's a significant amount of opportunity for extending the controls that we use in the IT space into that OT environment. The second area would be around the supply chains. As we've seen through the course of the last couple of years, you know, there's been a lot of exposure to the weaknesses in our supply chains globally, right? And supply chain risk is another top of mind topic for all manufacturers, right? Global suppliers are more and more involved in our manufacturing environments. The risk of having those suppliers in there, the amount of stories in the news, et cetera, has made that a increasingly front of mind topic. And then lastly, I would say, you know, new regulatory compliance, in particular in industries like automotive, where there's compliance standards that are coming out that you have to comply with in the next couple of years that require an end-to-end governance. You have to demonstrate end-to-end governance across your whole value chain. That's from your supply base all the way up through your product development, manufacturing, your go-to-market, and even into the captive finance arms if you're a car company. And how do you tie that all together, right? That's a challenge that I think goes well beyond the traditional securing and managing of endpoints in an IT ecosystem that all manufacturers are going to be facing. So yeah, I think there's a landscape out there in the manufacturing world that's quite broad and very exciting.
Yeah, so a lot of major challenges for manufacturers. So how do they solve these with technology?
Age-old problem that we have in this space around security and management of endpoints is the host of point solutions that exist in the marketplace. And in previous life, I used to refer to it as 1,000 points of light. And, you know, where was the fabric that ties it all together? And so, you know, increasingly, you have to have a platform approach. You need to be able to solve for multiple use cases and multiple problems from one single platform. That's critical. You can't scale unless you take that approach. And then, you know, I think speed and data fidelity is the second critical area that you have to be good at. You have to have quick access to the information about your endpoints, and you have to have a lot of accurate data about your endpoints. Without that, you can't really manage and secure them effectively.
How are companies seeing benefits from this platform approach as well as speed and data fidelity?
There are a lot of different ways that companies realize these benefits. The two main ways are going to be around platform consolidation or tool consolidation, right? And also just workforce productivity, the amount of FTEs that you need to do the job. For example, if I think about Tanium, Forrester just conducted a total economic impact of Tanium study in which they drew some very specific conclusions. Let me read from the report. 4 decision makers from different companies that use Tanium were interviewed, and they concluded at the end tools consolidation savings of more than 2.4 million over 3 years. The study also identified FTE savings of $1.2 million over 3 years, and noted that interviewees said their organizations needed fewer FTEs to manage and secure their environments using Tanium. So there is real savings to be had with respect to consolidating your software platforms and also in FTE savings.
A new year is always a good time to reprioritize. So what would you say are the biggest priorities that manufacturers need to focus on in 2022?
More and more endpoints, more and more challenges around managing them. You have to focus on scalability. And unless you have a platform approach, speed and fidelity of information, you're not going to be able to scale.
Great insights, Tom, today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. I've really enjoyed it.
And thank you all for watching. I'm Maggie Miller, and this is To The Point.